Today is November 29th, and it is day 54 since the war between Israel and Hamas has begun. Today's newspapers are mostly about the hostage release that happened yesterday, and there are more expected to be released today. Haaretz, 10 Israeliyot ושני אזרחים זרים, 10 Israeli citizens and 2 foreign citizens were released last night. Here we see the 10 Israeli ones, women, all women, elderly women, and 1 17-year-old, and 2 Thai citizens that were working in Israel on October 7th. In the massacre, where so many were kidnapped and murdered. Yediot Achronot, we see it reads, הפעימה החמישית, the 5th batch. 10 חטופות שוחררו מעזה. 10 Israeli citizens were released from Gaza. And we see in the photo, Maya holding Bela. Maya and Bela returning home. For 53 days, Maya was able to keep her beloved dog safe in the Hamas captivity. Last night, together with 9 other Israeli women and 2 Thai citizens, she was released from Gaza with her dog on her arms. This headline reads, Hagiborim shelo yashuvu, the mighty ones are the heroes that will not return. It reads, Hamas is holding the bodies of 3 of the combat soldiers that fell in battle on October 7th. And here to the first article, it reads, B'chazara mishevi hamiflatzot, back from the captivity of the monsters. And family members are telling the testimonies that they are hearing from their children who were in captivity. It reads, the terrorists forced the children to watch videos of the atrocities done on October 7th. And each time one of the children would cry, they were threatened with a gun in order to keep them quiet. Thomas Hand, the father of Emily, he says, when she spoke to me, she was only whispering and I could barely hear her. I couldn't hear what she was saying, so I got my ear very close to her mouth to hear her better. And she said quietly, I thought you were kidnapped. The next article reads, Yatz'u lechofshi, finally freed. This article is about the elderly women that were released yesterday. They show here stories and photos of them. Here's Meirav Tal. Here's Ada. It says that Ada is 75 years old from Nir Oz, and she was fighting the terrorists mightily until she was taken into captivity. Here's Norlin. She was kidnapped while her husband was murdered. And it reads that 10 women and 2 Thai citizens, after being in captivity for 53 days in the darkest place on earth, Bamakom ha'afel alei adamot. Today, 10 more hostages are supposed to be released after the extension of the temporary ceasefire. And there are stories about each of the women that were freed yesterday. Here, this is about Qatar, ha'einaim leQatar, the eyes are to Qatar, and how Qatar is playing a major role in the hostage exchange agreement. Down here, it's about Egypt, how Egypt has specific people and special ones that are also very major or very influential in these agreements. The next article is about the children that are still left in Gaza. Hayeladim shenotru be'aza, the children that are left in Gaza. Kulanu mechakim lachem, all of us are waiting for you. Gali, Kfir, he's the youngest one, Ariel, Bibas, Aisha and Balal, their brother and sister, Liam, Itai, Ophir, and Amit. And it reads, after 5 days of a temporary ceasefire that was agreed upon both sides, 60 children and mothers, youth and elderly women have returned. Now the families of the 9 children that are left in captivity, that were hoping every day to get a phone call that's proclaiming, that's giving them good news that their children are returning, they're asking not to forget their children and to bring them back home safely. To the next article. Lochamei Hezbollah, the fighters of Hezbollah, are again on the border, on the fence. So even though from the beginning of the war, Israel was able to demolish much of the terror infrastructure of Hezbollah on the northern border with Lebanon, the Hezbollah is showing right now presence again, which is concerning Israel. Here in the photograph, we see the Hezbollah terrorists on the border and observing and writing down information that they're collecting. The next article is about the medical personnel that has been receiving the children in the hospitals. And it says, after the children got to the hospitals, we went to a corner and cried. And to remind you, every hostage goes through a medical checkup. So everyone goes through a hospital before they go back to their homes. And up here we see pictures of the children back in their homes. It says first moments of freedom, the children in their living room. It says in the arms of mommy, finally. We'll end in another type of hero. It says she was saved from the massacre and she's saving lives. In August, Noam Meneket, she's 22 years old, went through a series of checkups to see if she's suitable to donate bone marrow. She got the positive answer after she escaped the Hamas terrorists in the party in Re'im on October 7th. And now she's deciding to continue with the procedure and save people's lives. And there she is. These are some of the headlines in the Hebrew newspapers. For more stories, go to All Israel News and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.